My name is Maya Chen. I'm 29 years old, and 8 months ago I saved 2 Bigfoot cubs from dying in the forest. 2 days later, their entire family surrounded my cabin. I'm recording this from a government facility, location unknown. They call it protective observation. I call it prison. But before I explain how I ended up here, I need to tell you what happened, the truth, while I still can, before they erase it completely. March 2023. I was a wildlife biologist with the Forest Service, posted at a remote research cabin in Olympic National Forest, Washington, 15 miles from the nearest road. My job was studying elk migration patterns, collecting data, living alone, exactly what I wanted after burning out in a busy Seattle lab. The cabin was basic: 1 room, wood stove, solar panels, radio for emergencies. I'd been there 4 months. Loved the isolation, loved the work. Thought I'd found my calling. March 17th changed everything. I was out checking trail cameras when I heard them. Rifle shots. 3 of them. Sharp cracks echoing through the valley. My blood went cold. It was March. Hunting season was closed, and this was protected land, federal land. Those shots were illegal. I headed toward the sound, half a mile through dense forest, found tire tracks, recent. A truck had been here, parked in an area accessible only by logging roads most people didn't know existed. More troubling, I found blood, a lot of blood, splattered on leaves, pooled in the dirt. Whatever had been shot was badly wounded. I followed the blood trail. It led into a ravine thick with undergrowth. Difficult terrain. I almost turned back, almost called it into the rangers, but something made me keep going. Some instinct, some feeling that whatever was wounded needed help immediately. I found them hidden under a fallen log, 2 small figures huddled together, covered in reddish-brown fur, shaking, bleeding. My first thought was bear cubs, but I'd seen plenty of bear cubs. These weren't bears. They were maybe 2.5 feet tall, arms too long, hands too human, faces that were somewhere between primate and something else entirely, large brown eyes that locked onto mine with unmistakable intelligence and fear, pure primal fear. Bigfoot cubs, baby Sasquatch, 2 of them, shot and left to die by whoever had been here. The larger one, female I'd later determine, tried to shield the smaller one, made a sound, not quite a growl, not quite a cry, something in between, a warning and a plea mixed together. They were both wounded. The female had been shot in the shoulder, not deep but bleeding. The male had been hit in the leg. Worse, I could see bone. My scientific training warred with disbelief. These creatures shouldn't exist, couldn't exist. Everything I'd learned said they were myth, legend, wishful thinking. But here they were, real, undeniable, dying. I made a choice, maybe the most important choice of my life. "It's okay," I said softly. "I'm not going to hurt you. I'm going to help." I should have called it in, reported the discovery, let the proper authorities handle it. That was protocol. That was procedure. But I knew what would happen. These creatures would be taken, studied, probably killed in the process, dissected. Their existence would become a circus. I couldn't let that happen. I approached slowly, hands visible, moving carefully. The female hissed, tried to push me away despite her wound. "I know you're scared, but you're bleeding, both of you. If I don't help, you'll die. Please let me help." I don't know if she understood the words, but something in my tone, my body language, made her hesitate. I examined the wounds as gently as I could. The female's shoulder was a through and through, clean, lucky. The bullet had missed bone and major vessels. The male's leg was worse. The bullet had shattered the tibia. He'd need surgery, proper medical care, things I couldn't provide in the wilderness, but I could stabilize them. I had a field medical kit. Training in wilderness first aid, years of treating injured wildlife. I worked quickly, cleaned the female's wound, applied pressure, bandaged it. She watched me the entire time, those intelligent eyes assessing, deciding whether to trust. When I finished with her, I moved to the male. He was in shock, barely conscious. The wound was infected already, hours old. He'd been suffering while the hunters just left. Rage burned through me. Who shoots babies and leaves them to die? What kind of monster does that? I extracted the bullet fragments I could reach, cleaned the wound, splinted the leg. The cub made soft sounds, almost like crying. The female touched him, comforting, reassuring. They were bonded, siblings probably, taking care of each other. "You're going to be okay," I told them. "Both of you, I promise." I couldn't leave them there. The wounds needed monitoring, and whoever shot them might come back to finish the job. Another choice, another line. Crossed. I picked up the male carefully. He was heavier than he looked, maybe 40 pounds. The female protested, made urgent sounds, tried to follow despite her wound. "You too," I said. "You're both coming with me. You'll be safe, I swear." Getting them back to the cabin took over an hour. The male I carried, the female limped alongside. She was in pain but refused to be carried. Pride, maybe, or the need to stay mobile in case of danger. When we reached the cabin, I brought them inside, set them by the wood stove, built up the fire. They needed warmth, fluids, food. The female positioned herself between me and the male, protective, defensive. She still wasn't sure if I was a threat. I offered water. She sniffed it suspiciously, then drank, desperately, dehydrated from blood loss and fear. The male drank too when she nudged him. Then they both looked at me, waiting, assessing, making decisions about this strange human who'd brought them here. I tried food, fruit first, an apple. The female took it cautiously, sniffed it, bit into it. Her expression shifted. Pleasure. She ate quickly, offered a piece to the male. I gave them more, nuts, berries from my supplies. They ate ravenously, starving. How long had they been wounded and alone? As they ate, I studied them, really studied them, taking in details my shocked brain had missed. They were covered in fine fur, reddish brown, dense, built for cold climates. Their hands had opposable thumbs, flexible, capable of fine motor control. Their faces were expressive, mobile, showing emotions I could read: fear, pain, gratitude, curiosity. These weren't animals, not in any meaningful sense. They were people, just different people. The female made a sound, not to me, to the male. He responded, a complex exchange of clicks and grunts and something almost melodic. Language. They had language, a real structured communication system. I pointed to myself. "Maya." The female tilted her head, studied me, then made a specific sound. A click, grunt, whistle combination. Her name? I tried to approximate it. Came out rough. She made a sound that might have been amusement, then repeated it slowly, like teaching a child. "Scout," I said, the closest I could get. She seemed to accept it. The male made a different sound when I pointed to him, softer, almost musical. "Ash," I translated, again an approximation, but he responded to it. So it worked. Scout and Ash, two impossible creatures in my cabin, wounded, dependent on me, trusting me despite every reason not to. I set up a bed for them near the fire, blankets, cushions, made it comfortable. They settled in together, Scout keeping one arm protectively over Ash. Then she looked at me, long and direct, making a decision. She made a soft sound, grateful, then closed her eyes. Permission granted. I'd passed the test. She trusted me enough to sleep, to let her guard down. I sat in my chair across the room, watching them, processing the impossible. Sasquatch were real, and I had 2 babies in my cabin, wounded by hunters, dependent on me for survival. What had I done? What was I going to do? I couldn't report them. That would mean losing them, losing their freedom, probably their lives, but I couldn't hide them forever. Could I? Someone would notice eventually, ask questions, get suspicious. And their family. They had to have family, parents, others looking for them. What would happen when those much larger, much stronger beings came looking for the missing cubs? I didn't sleep that night. Just watch Scout and Ash breathe, listen to the soft sounds they made, wondered what the morning would bring. At dawn, I checked their wounds, cleaned and rebandaged them. Both were already showing signs of healing, faster than human healing. Remarkable physiology. Scout was exploring by late morning, limping but mobile, examining everything in the cabin with intense curiosity, touching objects, studying their function. Ash stayed close to me, more trusting, more bonded. He'd touch my hand, make soft sounds, asking questions in a language I was beginning to understand. I spent the day caring for them, feeding them, changing bandages, trying to communicate, beginning to learn the patterns of their vocalizations. By evening of that first full day, I'd made a decision. I wouldn't report them, wouldn't call anyone, would keep them hidden until they healed. Then I'd figure out what to do. Maybe their family would come. Take them back, problem solved, or maybe I just made the biggest mistake of my life. That night, I went to bed exhausted, emotionally drained, physically spent. I woke a few hours later to wait on the bed. Ash had climbed up, curled against me, seeking warmth and comfort. Scout joined him, reluctant but following her brother, both of them sleeping against me, purring softly, content. I lay there in the darkness, 2 Bigfoot cubs using me as a pillow, my career on the line, my life about to change in ways I couldn't predict. But in that moment, I felt something I hadn't felt in years: purpose, connection, the certainty that I was exactly where I needed to be. Morning of day 2 changed everything. I woke to urgent sounds. Scout was at the window, agitated, making vocalizations I hadn't heard before. Ash joined her, both staring into the forest. I looked out, saw nothing, just trees and morning mist, but they saw something, or heard something. Their bodies were tense, alert, not afraid, something else, excited, hopeful, calling. Then I heard it, from deep in the forest, a response, low, resonant, powerful. Adult vocalizations, coming closer. The family had found us, and they were here. The vocalizations were getting louder, closer, maybe 100 yards out and closing fast. Scout and Ash were making urgent sounds back, not distressed, excited, calling to whoever was out there, their family, coming for them. My heart was pounding. Every rational part of my brain screamed, run, hide, get away before whatever's out there arrives. But I couldn't. Scout and Ash were here. They'd been shot. They needed protection, and I'd promised to keep them safe. I made a choice. Probably insane, definitely dangerous. I opened the cabin door, stepped out onto the porch. Scout and Ash followed immediately, limping, eager. Okay, I said to the forest, to whatever was coming. I'm not a threat. I helped them. I saved them. Please don't kill me. The vocalization stopped. Sudden silence. More terrifying than the sounds had been, then movement. 3 figures emerged from the tree line. The first was massive, 8.5 feet tall, maybe more. Shoulders impossibly broad, covered in dark fur, male. Had to be the father. He moved with controlled power, each step deliberate, eyes fixed on Scout and Ash, then on me, assessing, calculating, deciding whether I was threat or ally. To his right, slightly smaller but still enormous, 7 feet, female, reddish-brown fur matching the cubs, the mother. Her eyes were locked on Scout and Ash with an intensity that made my chest ache. Pure maternal desperation, terror, relief, all at once. Behind them, a third figure, smaller, maybe 6 feet, adolescent, curious, scared, watching me with wide eyes, an older sibling probably, part of the family unit. They stopped at the edge of the clearing, 30 feet away. The mother made sounds, urgent, questioning, calling to the cubs. Scout and Ash responded immediately, tried to run. Scout stumbled, her shoulder wound still too fresh. She fell, cried out in frustration and pain. The mother made a sound that broke my heart. Anguish, seeing her child hurt, unable to reach her. The father's body language shifted. Aggressive, protective, eyes fixing on me with new intensity. He thought I'd hurt them. Of course he did. His children were wounded and with a human. What else would he think? No, I said quickly, holding my hands up. Open, unthreatening. I didn't hurt them. Hunters did. Bad humans. I helped. I fixed their wounds. Look. I pointed to Scout's bandaged shoulder, to Ash's splinted leg, trying to show these are medical treatments, not injuries I caused. The mother moved forward, cautious but desperate. The father shadowed her, ready to attack if I made a wrong move. Ash tried to go to them, couldn't put weight on his leg, whimpered. The mother's eyes filled with something I recognized. Grief, rage, the promise of violence if her children had been harmed. Scout pulled herself up, limped back toward me, did something that probably saved my life. She touched my leg, deliberately, then made soft sounds, looking at her mother, explaining in their language what I couldn't explain in mine. This human helped. This human is safe. Don't hurt her. Ash hobbled over, grabbed my hand with his small, furry one, held it up, showing his family. She's good. She saved us. The parents stopped. The father's aggressive posture eased slightly. The mother was processing, trying to understand. Why would a human help? Why would a human bandage wounds instead of calling others? Why would this small human female risk everything to save children that weren't even her species? The mother made a decision, advanced slowly across the clearing. The father stayed back, but watched, ready. She approached to within 10 feet, lowered herself to a crouch, getting to my eye level. Respect? Or just making herself less threatening? We looked at each other. Human woman and Sasquatch mother, both of us trying to protect children, both of us operating on pure instinct and terror. She examined Scout carefully, touched the bandage on her shoulder. Scout made sounds. Not. Pain. Explanation. It hurt, but it's better now. The human fixed it. Then the mother examined Ash, saw the splint, tested it gently. Ash didn't cry out. The bone was properly set, healing. The mother's eyes came back to mine, and something shifted in them. Recognition, gratitude, understanding that I'd done what any mother would do, saved the babies, no matter whose babies they were. She reached out, slowly, gave me time to pull away. I didn't, couldn't, frozen by fear and fascination in something else. Her hand was enormous, could crush my skull without effort, but her touch was gentle. She placed one finger under my chin, lifted my face, looking into my eyes. What was she looking for? Intent? Threat? Character? Whatever she saw must have satisfied her. She made a sound, soft, melodic, then placed her hand on her own chest, pointed to me. Thank you. I understood it as clearly as if she'd spoken English. Thank you for saving my children. I placed my hand on my chest, pointed to Scout and Ash, then to the family. They're your family. I'm giving them back. I just wanted them to be safe. The mother made another sound, then did something I didn't expect. She vocalized to the father and the adolescent, a complex exchange, a discussion. The family was talking, deciding something. The father approached. I tried not to shake. He was terrifying up close, solid muscle, built to survive in the harshest conditions, built to defend his family against any threat. He studied me, then Scout and Ash, then the cabin, assessing. He made sounds. The mother responded. The adolescent added something. A family discussion happening right in front of me. Then the father did something that shocked me. He sat down, right there on my porch, lowered himself to the ground and just sat. The mother did the same. The adolescent followed their lead. They weren't leaving, weren't taking the cubs and running. They were staying. I understood then. Scout and Ash couldn't travel yet. Too injured, too weak. The family was asking, or maybe deciding without asking, to stay here, where the cubs were safe, where the strange human had proven she could be trusted. "Okay," I said, voice shaking. "Okay, you can stay. Of course you can stay." I gestured to the cabin, offered them to come inside. They wouldn't fit, too large, but I offered anyway. The mother shook her head, not refusing, just indicating, "Outside is fine. We'll stay here. Watch over our children, make sure they're safe." I brought out food, fruit, vegetables, nuts, everything I had, offered it to them. They were hesitant. The adolescent was most curious, crept forward, took an apple, sniffed it, bit into it carefully. His eyes widened. Pleasure, sugar, flavor. He made happy sounds. The mother smiled, I swear she smiled, then accepted food for herself and the father. We sat together, human and Sasquatch family, sharing a meal in the most surreal moment of my life. Scout and Ash ate with their family, chattering, in their language, telling the story, the hunters, the shots, Maya finding them, Maya helping, the bandages, the safety. I watched them interact, the complexity of their communication, the affection in every touch, the hierarchy, mother-led, father-protected, adolescent observed, cubs were loved and corrected in equal measure. This was a culture, a society, a family structure as sophisticated as any humans. The day passed in a strange peace. The family set up camp at the edge of the clearing. The father gathered branches and leaves, built a shelter in minutes, efficient, practiced. They knew how to live wild, how to survive. This wasn't new to them. Evening came. Temperature dropped. I gestured for them to come closer to the cabin, warmth from the wood stove. The mother appreciated it, moved the family closer, but maintained distance, respect for my space, even as I'd shown respect for them. Scout and Ash wanted to stay with their family, but also wanted to stay with me. Torn, between two worlds. The mother solved it, made sounds, gestured to the cubs, then to me, then to the cabin. "Stay with the healer. She'll keep you safe. We'll be right here. We're not leaving you." The cubs accepted this, came inside with me, settled by the fire, but kept looking out the window, making sure their family was still there. I lay in bed that night, 2 Bigfoot cubs sleeping on the floor, an entire Sasquatch family camped in my yard. 24 hours ago, I'd thought Bigfoot were myth. Now I was living with them, caring for them, being accepted by them. "What happens tomorrow?" I whispered to the darkness. No answer, just the soft sounds of Scout and Ash breathing, and through the walls, the occasional vocalization from the family outside, keeping watch, keeping guard, making sure their babies stayed safe. Day 3 brought new understanding and new complications. The mother, I started thinking of her as Willow for her graceful movements, came to the door in the morning, brought something, plants I didn't recognize, roots and leaves. She gestured to Scout and Ash, then to the plants, medicine, traditional healing. She was sharing knowledge. I accepted them reverently, applied them to the cubs' wounds like Willow showed me. The effect was remarkable. Inflammation decreased, healing accelerated. Whatever these plants were, they worked. The father, I called him Oak, solid and strong and protective, maintained a perimeter. I'd see him moving through the trees, checking, watching for threats. He was guarding all of us, me included. I'd been accepted into the protection circle. The adolescent, Flint, for his sharp curiosity, was fascinated by everything, examined my tools, my equipment, picked up a flashlight, nearly dropped it when I turned it on, but then laughed. An actual laughing sound. He wanted to understand, to learn. The curiosity was unmistakably human in character. We started developing communication, basic gestures, pointing, mimicking. Willow was patient, teaching me sounds. Specific vocalizations for danger, food, family, safe. I tried to reproduce them, failed mostly, but they appreciated the effort. Flint thought it was hilarious when I got them wrong, made a huffing sound that had to be laughter. Scout and Ash were healing rapidly. By day 3, Scout could walk without limping. Ash's leg was still bad, but improving. Both had bonded deeply. Scout was protective of me, the way Willow was protective of them. Ash followed me everywhere, wanting to help, to be near. That afternoon, everything changed. I heard a vehicle, distant but getting closer, coming up the access road. Oak heard it too, made an urgent sound, alarm. The family vanished into the forest in seconds, taking Scout and Ash with them, gone like they'd never existed. I stood alone as my supervisor's truck pulled up, my heart hammering. He got out, friendly smile. "Maya, just checking in. You've been pretty quiet on the radio. Everything okay out here?" "Fine. Just busy with the elk study. Lots of data to process." He looked around. Did he see something? Signs of the family? Trampled grass where they'd camped? We got reports of illegal hunting in the area, gunshots a few days back. You hear anything? Some shots, far away. I reported it on the radio, didn't see who it was. Right. Just be careful. Poachers can be dangerous. You're out here alone. If you see anything suspicious, call immediately. Don't try to confront anyone. I will. Thanks for checking. He lingered, looking at the cabin, the clearing. Something felt off to him. I could see it. "You sure you're okay? You seem tense." "Just tired. Too much time alone. I'll take a day off, maybe drive into town." That satisfied him. He left after 20 minutes. But I knew he'd sensed something, the way animals sense storms coming. After his truck disappeared, the family emerged cautiously. Oak made questioning sounds. "Danger? Bad human?" I gestured. "Safe. Good human, but can't know about you. Secret." Willow understood, made a grave sound. Worry, agreement. This couldn't last. Someone would discover them eventually, see something, find evidence, ask questions I couldn't answer. The family knew it too. They had a discussion, long, complex. I couldn't understand most of it, but the tone was clear. They needed to leave, go deeper into the wilderness, where humans didn't go, where it was safe. But Scout and Ash weren't ready. Another week, maybe 2. Willow made a decision. They'd stay, risk it, keep the family together until the cubs could travel. But it was dangerous, for all of us, and we all knew it. That night, the family moved their camp to a more hidden location, 50 yards into the trees, harder to spot from the cabin, harder to see if someone else came. Scout and Ash stayed with me, but they were restless, sensing the tension, sensing danger approaching. I held Ash close as he fell asleep, looked out at the forest where the rest of the family hid. "I won't let anyone hurt you," I whispered. "I promise, whatever it takes." But I had no idea what I was promising, what it would cost, what was coming. I just knew one thing with absolute certainty. I'd crossed a line, made a choice, sided with beings that the world denied existed, and there was no going back. Whatever happened next, I was committed to Scout and Ash, to Willow and Oak and Flint, to keeping them safe, to keeping them secret, to keeping them free, even if it meant losing everything I'd worked for, even if it meant becoming a criminal in the eyes of my own species. Some things matter more than careers, than reputations, than following rules. Family matters more. And somehow, impossibly, this had become my family. The first 2 weeks established a rhythm, dangerous, unsustainable. But somehow it worked. Days the family stayed hidden. Oak and Willow would range far, hunting, foraging, gathering. Flint stayed closer, curious about me, about human things, learning. Scout and Ash remained with me mostly, their wounds healing with remarkable speed. Whatever Willow's medicines were, combined with their physiology, they were recovering in days what should have taken weeks. By day 5, Scout could run. By day 7, Ash was walking without the splint. By day 10, both were almost completely healed. But they didn't leave. The family didn't leave. I started to understand why. They felt safer here, near me, near the cabin that represented protection, than out in the forest where hunters had already found them once. I was their buffer, their early warning system, their connection to the human world that kept encroaching on their territory. Week 2, Willow started teaching me their language properly, not just basic sounds, full communication. She'd point to objects, make specific vocalizations. I'd repeat, she'd correct. Patient as any teacher I'd ever had, Scout helped, would demonstrate concepts I didn't understand, show me through action what the sounds meant. By the end of week 2, I had maybe 50 vocalizations, enough for basic conversation, enough to say, danger coming. Food here. Family safe. I protect you. Oak tested me. Would make sounds from the forest. Checking if I understood. Warning calls. All clear signals. Teaching me to be part of their security network. When I got them right, I'd hear Flint's huffing laugh. When I got them wrong, gentle correction. They wanted me to learn, needed me to learn. We were building something, a bridge between species, communication that shouldn't be possible, but was. Flint was obsessed with my technology. The solar panels fascinated him, how they turned sunlight into power. He'd touch them carefully, look at me with questioning sounds. I tried to explain, use gestures, drawings, the sun, energy, electricity, light. He understood the concept faster than I expected, made connections, showed intelligence that was undeniably human level, maybe beyond. He wanted to know everything, how the radio worked, how I preserved food, how I tracked elk with my equipment. I showed him. Why not? He was learning, adapting, preparing for a world that was changing, where hiding forever might not be possible. Week 3 brought the first real test. I was checking trailhead cameras, part of my actual job, when I found something that stopped my blood cold. Fresh boot prints, 2 people, heavy packs, moving deliberately through terrain that was off the normal hiking routes. I followed the prints carefully, found their camp 2 miles from my cabin, 2 men, mid-40s, expensive hunting gear, and something that made my stomach drop. Photographs, pinned to a tree, enlarged, enhanced, of tracks, enormous tracks, clearly not human, not bear, something else, and blood samples in collection bags, labeled, dated. March 17th, the day Scout and Ash were shot. These were the hunters. They'd come back, not to hunt legally, to hunt for proof, to hunt for what they'd wounded and lost. I took photos with my phone, documented their camp, then got out of there before they returned. Back at the cabin, I showed Willow. She understood immediately, made urgent sounds to Oak. The family had a discussion, heated. Willow wanted to move, go deeper. Oak wanted to defend, protect their territory. They'd been pushed before, kept running. How far did they have to run? Flint added something, young voice, uncertain, but clear in tone. The human helped us. Maybe humans not all bad? Oak's response was firm. One good human doesn't change thousands of years of being hunted, killed, driven from homes. I understood his point, couldn't argue with it, but I could act. The next morning, I hiked back to the hunters' camp, arrived as they were having breakfast. "This is federal land," I said, voice hard, official. "You're camping in a restricted research area. I need to see your permits." The first hunter, the one I recognized from the boot print patterns, smiled. condescending. We have permits, perfectly legal wildlife observation. Observation of what? There's no legal hunting season, and those blood samples you collected are from federally protected land. That requires separate permits I'm certain you don't have. His smile faded. You've been in our camp? I've been monitoring my research area, found evidence of biological sample collection without authorization. That's a federal violation. The second hunter stood, bigger, more aggressive. You threatening us? I'm informing you. Leave within 24 hours or I report this to the federal rangers, with photos, coordinates, evidence of illegal activity. We didn't do anything illegal. Blood samples without permits, camping in restricted zones. Possible weapons violations. I heard gunshots March 17th in this area. Want me to keep listing violations or do you want to pack up and leave? They were angry, but also calculating, weighing whether this was worth the trouble. We hit something, the first hunter said quietly. Something big, not a bear. We know what we saw, and we're going to prove it exists. No, you're going to leave, because if you don't, I'll make sure every ranger, every federal officer, every wildlife agent in the state knows you're here, and whatever you're looking for will disappear before you ever find it. I was bluffing, mostly, but my voice was steady. My eyes were hard. I sold it. They packed up, left by afternoon. But the first hunter stopped on his way out. We'll be back, with proper permits, with support. This isn't over. Yes, it is. Whatever you think you saw, it's gone, and it's not coming back while you're looking. He stared at me, understanding. You know something. You've seen them. I've seen a lot of things in these forests. Most of them are none of your business. Go home. They left, but I knew he was right. They'd be back, better prepared, more determined, with resources I couldn't counter. I told Willow that night. She made sounds I'd learned meant gratitude, but also resignation. This was temporary. The family couldn't stay here. Eventually, soon, they'd have to go deeper, find somewhere truly remote, somewhere humans couldn't reach. Week 4 became preparation, teaching, sharing knowledge. Willow taught me about medicinal plants, showed me dozens I'd never encountered in any textbook, explained their uses through demonstration, building a catalog of traditional knowledge that would be priceless to ethnobotanists. I taught her about human patterns, where we built, where we traveled, how to recognize trails and roads, how to avoid us. Oak taught me how to move silently, how to blend into terrain, how to disappear even in sparse cover. Skills his people had, perfected over millennia. I taught him about technology, trail cameras, drones, thermal imaging, the tools humans use to find what didn't want to be found, how to avoid them, how to stay hidden in a world with no real hiding places left. Flint was the most eager student, absorbed everything, asked questions I had to answer through elaborate gestures and drawings. How many humans? Millions? Billions? More than trees? Yes, more than trees. His face when he understood that. Horror. Comprehension of how small his world was, how large ours had become. Scout and Ash became bilingual, could understand English almost fluently, could speak maybe 20 words. Maya, food, danger, family, safe, love. That last one Scout said to me one evening, clear as day, love Maya. I started crying, couldn't help it. Love you too, Scout. Love all of you. The family made sounds, warm, accepting. I'd been formally adopted. Not human, not Sasquatch, something in between, part of their unit, protected, valued, family. But the end was coming. We all felt it. The cubs were fully healed. The family needed to move. Every day we stayed increased the risk of discovery, and discovery would mean the end, for all of us. Late in week 4, Oak found something, a marker carved into a tree. Recent, deliberate, a survey marker, someone planning development, roads, or research stations. Or worse, the forest was shrinking, human presence expanding, the family's territory being squeezed from all sides. Willow made the decision. They'd leave at the end of the week, head north toward Canada, find wilderness so remote humans rarely ventured there. It would be hard, dangerous, but necessary. I helped them prepare dried fruit, preserved meat, medical supplies, everything I could spare that might help them survive. Flint carved something for me, a piece of wood, smooth, polished, with images: oak, willow, flint, scout, ash, and me, all together, family. So you remember, he vocalized in their language, so you don't forget us. Never forget, never. You're my family forever. The night before they left, we sat together, all of us, under the stars, the way we had so many nights over the past month. But this time was different. This was goodbye. Willow sang, a long, complex vocalization, mournful but beautiful, a history song, a memory song, preserving this moment, this brief time when human and Sasquatch lived together, helped each other, loved each other. Oak added his voice, deep, resonant, harmonizing, then Flint, then Scout and Ash, and finally, hesitantly, me, my human voice joining their ancient song, wrong, out of place, but accepted, welcomed. We sang together, family transcending species, transcending everything that should have made it impossible. When the song ended, Willow touched my face, gentle, her huge hand cupping my cheek. She made sounds. You saved our children, saved our family, risked everything. We will remember, always. You are our daughter now, our sister, our kin. I was crying too hard to respond, just nodded, held her hand against my face, memorizing the feeling, knowing I might never feel it again. Morning came too fast, too final. The family prepared to leave, quick, efficient, everything packed, everything ready. Scout didn't want to go, clung to me, made distressed sounds. Willow had to gently pull her away, explain that they had to go, that staying meant danger for everyone. Ash gave me something, a smooth stone, worn, special to him somehow, his most precious possession, for me to keep. Thank you, I whispered. I'll treasure it forever. Flint touched his forehead to mine, a gesture of respect, of goodbye, of promise. We'll see again, someday, I know it. I hope so. I really hope so. Oak approached last, placed one massive hand on my shoulder, made a sound, formal, final, protection, promise, pledge. You are under our guard now, forever. Any who harm you, harm us. Any who threaten you, threaten us. You are ours. Then they were gone, into the forest, moving silently, efficiently, 5 figures disappearing into the trees. I stood in the clearing, alone, holding Ash's stone and Flint's carving, tears streaming down my face. The cabin was empty. The clearing was empty. My life was empty. For 1 month, I'd had a family, had experienced connection deeper than anything I'd known, had been part of something impossible and beautiful and real. Now it was over. They were gone. Safe, I hoped. Free, I prayed. But gone. I went inside, cleaned up, removed every trace of their presence, protecting the secret even after they'd left, making sure no scientist, no hunter, no one would ever find evidence that they'd been here. That night was the longest of my life, silence crushing, loneliness absolute. But I'd done the right thing, saved Scout and Ash, protected the family, given them a chance to survive in a world that wanted to destroy them. That had to be enough. Had to. 2 weeks passed. Routine returned. Elk tracking, data, collection, radio calls with supervisors, pretending nothing had changed, that I was the same Maya I'd been before March 17th. But everything had changed. I'd seen proof of the impossible, lived with it, loved it, lost it. and I carried a secret that weighed on me every moment. Knowledge that could change the world or destroy the family I'd promised to protect. One morning I found something, a mark on a tree near the cabin, carved fresh, recent, flint style, his signature cuts, a symbol I'd seen him make, family, connected, remembered, and beneath it, a small cache, fruit, nuts, gathered and left, a gift, a reminder. They'd passed by, checked on me, left a sign. We remember. We're okay. We love you. I touched the carving, crying, grateful, devastated, relieved, everything at once. They were alive, safe, continuing their journey. But they'd taken time to let me know, to reassure me. I wasn't forgotten, wasn't alone, was still family, even separated, even apart. That thought carried me through the next weeks, knowing somewhere in the vast forest they were out there, living, surviving, remembering. Until the day I found the boot prints, fresh, multiple sets, professional tracking patterns, not the same hunters, someone new, someone more organized, more determined, and heading in the direction the family had gone. My blood went cold, because I knew with absolute certainty they were going to find the family, and when they did, everything I'd fought to protect would be destroyed unless I stopped them, warned the family, did something. But what? What could one biologist do against an organized search, against people with resources and technology and determination? I didn't know, but I had to try, had to protect my family, even if it cost me everything, even if it cost me my freedom. June 2023, 6 weeks after the family left, I was checking trail cameras when I found fresh boot prints, multiple sets, professional tracking patterns. I followed them to a camp, 6 people, expensive equipment, not hunters, something worse, researchers, cryptozoologists, and they had resources. I watched from the tree line, listened. The leader was addressing his team, Dr. Richard Wade, 50s, gray beard, intense eyes, published author on cryptids. He'd been searching for Bigfoot for 20 years. "We have DNA evidence," he was saying, hair samples, blood, tissue, all collected March 17th from this area. Testing shows unknown primate, close to human but distinctly different. 98% match to Homo sapiens but with significant variations. They're here, and we're going to document them. My blood went cold. The blood samples from Scout and Ash's wounds. The hunters who shot them must have collected samples and sold them to Wade. I'd saved the cubs, but in doing so, I'd created a trail, evidence, proof that brought these people here. I walked into their camp, pretended to be the friendly local biologist just doing her rounds. "Hi, I'm Maya Chen, Forest Service, wildlife biologist stationed at the research cabin about 8 miles that way. Can I help you folks with something?" Wade's eyes lit up with interest. "Maya, perfect timing. Yes, we're conducting a comprehensive wildlife survey, looking for evidence of unknown or undocumented species. You work this area regularly. Have you seen anything unusual? Large bipedal tracks? Vocalizations you can't identify? Any signs of activity that doesn't match known animals?" I kept my face neutral. "Just the usual suspects. Elk, black bear, cougar, occasional wolf. Nothing unusual." He studied me, too intently, too carefully. "Really? Because we have biological samples, DNA, hair, blood, from this specific region, collected in March, from a site where something large and bipedal was clearly wounded. You were stationed here then. Surely you heard something. Saw something?" "There was illegal hunting. I reported gunshots, never found what they hit. Assumed they either missed or whatever they wounded ran off and died somewhere I didn't locate." Wade didn't believe me. I could see it in his expression. "We have thermal imaging equipment, audio sensors, trail cameras covering 40 square miles, motion activated. If there's anything in this forest that walks on 2 legs and isn't human, we'll find it." That was both a threat and a promise. I reported back to my supervisor that evening via radio. There's a research team operating in my zone. They're placing equipment everywhere. It's interfering with my elk study. Can we get them removed? Do they have permits? I didn't check. Check first. If they're legal, there's nothing we can do. You'll have to work around them. They were legal. Wade had covered every base. Permits for biological sampling, wildlife observation, research, documentation, all properly filed months in advance. He'd been planning this for a long time, and I couldn't stop him through official channels. I had to warn the family, but I didn't know where they were. They'd gone north, deep into the wilderness. Could be 50 miles away, could be 100. I started hiking, following the direction they'd taken when they left, looking for signs, markers, anything Flint might have left. 3 days of searching, moving off established trails, going deeper than I'd ever ventured, into areas that felt primeval, where the trees were so old they'd been standing when Columbus reached America. I found them in a hidden valley, protected on 3 sides by steep ridges, accessible only through narrow passes that were easy to miss. Perfect territory, safe, remote, but not safe enough, not if Wade's search grid kept expanding north. Willow saw me first, made an alarm sound, then recognition, surprise, joy. The family emerged from the shelter they'd built. Scout ran to me, nearly knocked me over with her hug. She was bigger, stronger, growing fast. Ash vocalized happiness. Even Oak made a welcoming sound. But Willow knew. Mothers always know. She made questioning sounds. What's wrong? Why are you here? I explained through our hybrid language, gestures and vocalizations, humans, many humans, searching, equipment everywhere, coming closer, danger. Oak's response was immediate. Anger, frustration. He vocalized loudly. Tired of running, tired of being pushed from territory to territory. This was good land, safe land. Why should they leave again? Willow was more pragmatic, made calming sounds. If humans were coming with equipment, they had to move. No choice. Survival mattered more than pride or attachment to place. Then Flint did something that surprised everyone. He'd been thinking, processing, growing. He made a series of complex vocalizations, a proposal. What if different approach? What if we show ourselves? Controlled, one human, agreement for protection. The idea hung in the air, radical, dangerous, but not stupid. Oak rejected it immediately, loud, emphatic sounds. Trust humans? Never. It always ended in death, in capture, in destruction. But Willow considered it, made thoughtful sounds. The cub saver showed humans can be different. Maybe one more can be trusted. Maybe choosing revelation better than being discovered? They discussed it for over an hour. I watched. Let them decide. This was their lives, their risk, their choice. Finally, they reached consensus. They would allow one human, one, chosen by me, under extreme conditions. No technology, no recording devices, no location revealed. One meeting to show they existed, to ask for protection, to try to create boundaries instead of running forever. It was desperate, but also brave, taking control of their narrative before the narrative destroyed them. I returned to Wade's camp, spent days evaluating his team. Most were opportunists, fame seekers, people who'd exploit the discovery for personal gain. But one stood out, Dr. Lisa Park, early 30s, Korean American. She'd published extensively on conservation ethics, argued passionately for habitat protection over specimen collection. I approached her privately one evening. If I could prove to you that Bigfoot exists, would you protect them or would you exploit them? Her eyes widened, shocked. You've seen them, haven't you? Answer the question first. Protect, always. My entire career is built on the principle that scientific discovery should serve conservation, not destruction, not exploitation. Even if it means keeping secrets, not publishing everything, not getting credit or fame. Fame means nothing if the species goes extinct because I revealed them. Yes, I would keep whatever secrets were necessary to ensure their survival. I studied her face, her eyes, looking for lies, for hidden ambition, found only sincerity and fear. Fear that I was serious, that this was actually real. I need you to swear on everything you value, that you'll honor what I'm about to show you, that you'll protect them above all else. I swear on my life, on everything I believe. I will protect them. I took her the next morning, blindfolded her for the last mile. Couldn't risk her knowing the exact location. When I removed the blindfold, the family was there, waiting at the edge of the clearing, all 5 of them, united, terrified, but incredibly brave. Lisa stopped breathing, literally stopped, stared. Tears formed immediately. "Oh my God, you're real, you're magnificent." Willow stepped forward first, assessing, deciding if this human was like Maya or like the hunters who'd shot her children. Scout was curious, approached Lisa cautiously, extended her hand. The human gesture I'd taught her. Lisa took it carefully, reverently. Her whole body was shaking. "Hello, thank you. Thank you for trusting me. I won't betray that trust. I swear I won't." The meeting lasted 2 hours, Lisa observed respectfully, asked questions through me. I translated between English and the Sasquatch vocalizations I'd learned. She saw the healed scars on Scout and Ash, understood immediately what had happened, what humans had done to children. She watched Flint demonstrate his carvings, saw art, culture, intelligence. She listened to Willow vocalize complex ideas, heard the grammar, the structure, the undeniable language. She observed Oak's protective behavior, the family dynamics, the love and care they showed each other. Before we left, Oak approached Lisa, made a formal gesture, placed one massive hand on her shoulder. Too heavy, she nearly collapsed under the weight. But he was careful, respectful. He vocalized, long, ceremonial, binding. I translated, "You are connected now, bound to us. Betray us and you betray yourself. Honor us and you receive our protection in return." Lisa understood perfectly. "I will honor you, all of you. I swear it. You'll be safe. I'll make certain of it." We hiked back. Lisa was shaking the entire way, processing the impossible. "What do I do now?" she asked. "How do I protect them?" "You publish, carefully, a conservation paper arguing for critical habitat protection in this region. You don't say specifically why, just that there's evidence of ecologically significant species requiring immediate preservation. That's so vague, it might not be enough. Anything more specific and you paint a target on them. We create a protected zone, make it illegal to develop or intrude, give them space to survive." "I'll do it. I'll make it work." But Wade was suspicious. He'd noticed Lisa's absence, her changed demeanor when she returned. "You found something," he said to her, not asking, accusing. "You know where they are." "I found nothing but more forest. Maya showed me some interesting habitat features. That's all." "You're lying. Both of you. You've seen them, haven't you?" Lisa held firm. "There's nothing to see but wilderness worth protecting. I'm writing a conservation proposal. You should focus on supporting that instead of chasing legends." Wade turned his attention to me. "You sabotaged this expedition from the beginning, misled my team, moved equipment, hid evidence. Why?" "I protected sensitive habitat. That's my job as a biologist." "You're protecting them. That's obstruction, possibly criminal." He was right, but I didn't care. "I don't know what you're talking about." Wade filed official complaints, accused me of interference, of hiding a significant biological discovery, of violating research ethics and federal protocols. My supervisors called me in. "Maya, what's going on? Wade is making very serious accusations. Is there any truth to them?" "He's obsessed, seeing conspiracies where there are none. I've done my job protecting habitat, nothing more. But they didn't fully believe me. The doubt was there. They put me on administrative leave pending full investigation. Lisa published her paper in September 2023, carefully worded, argued for creation of a protected conservation zone based on strong evidence suggesting critical habitat for potentially undocumented large mammal species. It caused immediate debate. Skeptics called it vague and unscientific. Cryptozoologists were excited. Environmental groups saw an opportunity. By November 2023, after intense lobbying and political pressure, the zone was officially established. 100 square miles of Olympic National Forest, federally protected, off limits to development, strictly limited access, heavy penalties for violations. The family was safer. Not completely safe, but significantly safer than before. But I paid the price for that safety. The investigation concluded I'd been deliberately uncooperative with legitimate research, had withheld information, had potentially violated federal scientific protocols. December 2023. They came for me, not park rangers, federal agents. Maya Chen, you're being detained for questioning. National security matter. You need to come with us. National security. That meant classified operations. That meant they knew something. Had evidence I couldn't deny. They brought me here. This facility. I don't know where. They won't tell me. Some government installation. Not a prison officially, but not free either. Protective custody, they call it, for your safety and the safety of a potential significant discovery. 8 months now. August 2024. 8 months of the same routine. Interrogations twice a week. Always the same questions. Where exactly are they located? How many individuals? What did you observe about their behavior? How did you communicate? What did you learn about their biology? I tell them nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. I protected habitat, that's all. They show me evidence, satellite footage, thermal imaging signatures that show large bipedal forms in the protected zone. We know something's there. We have movement patterns, biological evidence. Help us and we'll go easy on you. Stay silent and face federal prosecution. I have nothing to tell you. I don't know anything about what you're describing. They threaten me. Obstruction of justice. Withholding information related to national security. Possible treason charges for protecting a potential strategic resource. But I won't break. Can't break. The family trusted me. Scout and Ash trusted me when they were wounded and helpless. I won't betray that trust. Not for freedom. Not for anything. Lisa visits sometimes. They allow it under supervision. She can't say much. Everything is monitored. But she manages to communicate. The protected zone is working. Limited access protocols are effective. No major incidents or intrusions reported. She doesn't say the family is safe. Can't say that explicitly. But her eyes tell me everything I need to know. They're okay. Still hidden. Still free. That's all that matters. I'm recording this testimony in stolen moments. Managed to smuggle a small device, taking enormous risks. If they find it, everything gets worse. But the truth needs to be told. Needs to exist somewhere outside their control before they erase it completely. Sasquatch are real. They're not animals or monsters. They're people. Different people in different bodies. But people. They have families, language, culture, art, love. Everything that defines personhood. Scout and Ash proved that to me. 2 cubs who trusted me despite being shot by humans, who showed me intelligence and affection and hope. Their family showed me more. Showed me a sophisticated society that survived for millennia by staying hidden, by avoiding contact, by adapting constantly to our ever-expanding presence. They're running out of places to hide. Our world is swallowing theirs, piece by piece, year by year. I made a choice 8 months ago, chose to protect them instead of exposing them, chose their freedom over my career, over my own freedom ultimately. I don't regret it. Not for 1 second. When I close my eyes, I see Scout's face, her amber eyes looking at me with absolute trust, calling me Maya in that rough, beautiful voice. I see Ash's small hand holding mine, trusting me to keep him safe, to fix what humans had broken. I see Willow touching my face with infinite gentleness, accepting me as daughter, as family. I see Oak's protective stance, his promise to defend me as one of his own. I see Flint's endless curiosity, his hope that maybe, somehow, humans and Sasquatch could coexist peacefully. They're alive and free because I made the right choice, the hard choice, the choice that cost me everything but gave them their future. That's enough. That has to be enough. To whoever finds this recording, don't look for them. Don't try to prove they exist. Don't make my sacrifice meaningless. Just protect the wild places that remain. Support conservation. Defend wilderness. Create more protected zones. Not for science, not for proof. Just for them. For Scout and Ash and all the others who just want to exist in peace. To the family, if this somehow reaches you, I kept my promise, kept your secret, kept you free, and I'd do it again. Scout, you saved me as much as I saved you, showed me what truly matters, what's worth fighting for, worth sacrificing everything for. I love you, all of you, forever, across species, across distance, across everything that should make it impossible. You're my family, and family protects each other. No matter the cost, stay hidden, stay safe, stay free. This is my testimony, my confession, my truth. Maya Chen, biologist, guardian, sister, daughter, family, forever.